So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you for braving all the cold weather, coming out this morning to be with us in person. And we have Doug Watts who will be giving us our wonderful message this morning. Rebecca Hall will be our special music. We have Rick Milan, as usual, on the piano. No?
He's meditation.
Why is he, well, who knew? Well, I guess I should, yes. Well, Georgia was just sitting there so nicely, I didn't even remember. She's just all like so connected over there. Okay, well, never mind.
I got you.
I lied. Totally. So Lee Goufray will be our speaker this morning. And I guess someone will be the appointed JoJo caretaker today. So it looks like Doug Watts will be doing everything else, the meditation, everything else. Thank you. Oh, please turn off your phones.
Lee Goufray is going to be our speaker. Can y'all hear this pretty good?
No.
No.
It's not even on.
No?
No, it's not on.
Yeah, it's on.
Is it on?
You have to
Keep it on your mouth, on your mouth.
You got to hold it right like
There
this?
you
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I'm holding it like this. Welcome to Valley Community Church, where the past is the past and the future has infinite possibilities. And for those who made it here today, oh, thank you so much for taking the trouble, the time to get here. It means so much. The energy is lifted up in the room. Well, I hate to do this to you, but I've got one. I want to share it with you. We've talked about St. Peter before, haven't we? And the gates of St. Peter. And we've got it's a New York cabbie went to St. Peter along with a Methodist preacher. And they both arrived about the same time. And St. Peter looked at the New York cabbie and he gave him a gold robe with a gold scepter, almost a gold staff, and opened the gates for him, and in went the New York cabbie. Well, the Methodist preacher was next, and he came up and St. Peter gave him an old, ragged, torn cloth kind of thing to wear, and an old wooden staff, and the Methodist preacher said, "How dare you do that? I've been preaching for 35, 38 years. And St. Peter said, "Well, we go on results here. While the cabbie was driving, everyone was praying. And while you were preaching, everyone was sleeping." There we go. No sleeping today. Oh, I got to do a Bible verse for us today. It's hard to do all this when you're not used to holding this. Now we're going to be talking about Thessalonians 5:18. And it says, "Give thanks to all circumstances. Give thanks to all things." And it makes me think, oftentimes we don't give thanks, do we? It's easy when things are going our way. The money's coming in and everything's going all right in relationship. I can give thanks, but that's not when we're supposed to give thanks always. It seems like oftentimes people who have the least are the most grateful. There was a learned scholar, a biblical scholar named Henry Eyring, and he made a notice, or an objective notice of this, and he said, it seems funny that people come into this world with nothing, and they think it's a right of themselves to accumulate things and have things, but they're not grateful. They look around and they see others that have maybe a little bit more, and they go, "I wish I had that. I wish I had that." Well, that's not how we're supposed to be. Matter of fact, in the Bible, it's mentioned, the word grateful is mentioned 171 times. And it's funny, it's evenly divided between the Old Testament and the New Testament. About 70-some times in each. It seems to be a theme, a common theme throughout the whole Bible. Gratitude. There was a woman, she had a friend, her friend's name was Dorothy. and Dorothy was a little older, and she would bring her some food every now and then, and help around the house every now and then. Dorothy would say things like, "I am so grateful for you." It made her want to be around her even more. And she remembered one time when there was a storm and the electric lines were torn down. And Dorothy said to her, "Please go out and tell the linemen how grateful I am for them." Now she knew the secret to life. She knew gratitude. Let's all be thankful for each other and be more grateful. Now, if you would, turn to me to the TV screen and we'll do our orders of service, or statement of being, I'm sorry. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am the individualized expression of God, and am ever one in this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. Rebecca?
Rebecca's her name. She's the sweetest one of them all.
Hold on.
Now is the time for our healing meditation. And I invite you to get a firm seat, to release the tension that you have in your shoulders, or maybe your neck muscles, or even your facial muscles. This is the time we get to spend with God time. You know, if God is like an ocean of spirit, then He is the droplet, the mist, the foam, the wave, all of it surrounds us. This ocean of spirit. I know I come today with particular people I want to hold in thought, hold in prayer. I can easily think of Jerry and his family, his recent loss. I can think of a friend of mine who recently transitioned. I know you can think of people in your lives that might need your prayers. Oh, there's new beginnings coming up. I know there's new opportunities. And I might be a little afraid of those even. No, they're new. But this ocean of spirit is with you. Maybe someone close to you is going through worry, concern, caring, heartbreak. Just bring their name to your lips right now. We ask for God's healing. We ask for God to be in their lives also, for them to feel that ocean of spirit, that presence right now. Father, thank you for being in and around us and throughout us, for being the very dark matter in the universe, that we are aware of it. I would invite you in this next 90 seconds to just release the best you can. Just let it go the best you can for right now. Let God work in your life, in your heart, for the next 90 seconds, beginning now. Father, your presence has been felt. We're able to relax and release. I can affirm that. There you go, the peace with God, the peace that surpasses all understanding. Go in peace. And it is so. Amen. Now it's time where we say our Lord's Prayer. It's a different version, but it's one that more closely resembles to what we believe. It has the same cadence as the other. Our Father who is everywhere, your name is sacred, your kingdom is come, your will is throughout the earth, even as it is throughout the universe. You give us our needful bread from day to day, and you forgive us our offenses. And you let us not enter into materialism, but you separate us from error, because yours are the kingdom, the power, and the song, and praise, from all ages, throughout all ages, sealed in faith, trust, and truth. Amen. Now we get to invite Lee Goufray to spend some time with us and tell us what's on her mind.
And JoJo is going to be here with Mark.
And JoJo's staying out there.
Yeah, JoJo is paying attention from there.
Maybe.
He really is.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm having difficulty talking, but I would like to have notes.
Sure,
It's better to have notes.
we've got room for it.
So you keep on course, right?
Did you put the microphone on her? No, the other one.
Which microphone you want?
I don't care. This
On the
one's
chair.
Yeah.
fine. No.
Here, use the other one.
This one?
No, this is fine. What, do you want me to have that one? I can speak with this one.
Has to be close to your mouth.
The thing is, Doug, is this on?
Yeah, you have to have it real close.
Has to be close.
Okay, I'll have it real close. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear me. Somebody's coming here.
Would you rather have it on the
I think,
stand?
I don't know.
Actually, why don't
This is
you,
fine. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, it's fine.
Nancy, give her
Yeah.
the other one that's got a longer cord.
I should have worked this
I'm gonna
out
stay in
ahead
my
of time.
chair.
I should have worked this out
Sit down,
ahead of
man.
Yeah, that one's got a longer cord.
time. You think that's better? I can't get that one right there. There you go. That's better? You think that's better?
Yeah.
Yes!
That's perfect.
Okay. My friend Peter is here. He came to hear me speak today and to encourage me. When I sat down, he said to me, "Are you nervous?" And I said, "Nervous? No, I don't think I am nervous. I know these people really well. I mean, I can look out and identify everybody's face. So that's important, right?" Now, this week I had lunch with a friend, and he said to me, "Are you going to wear a dress when you speak, Lee?" And I said, "It's interesting, huh?" And I said, "Why do you think I should wear a dress?" And he said, "To be different. I mean, dress up." And I said, he said, "Surely you're not going to wear sweats," which is what I usually wear, right? And I said, "I won't wear sweats, but I will wear pants. And that's so that everybody can recognize me, because people recognize me. And I have this thing about looking at people right in the face. And I have said to people over and over, it is through the eyes that you go to the soul. It is the eyes which are the windows to the soul." Now, Joe is getting upset back there because he doesn't know what I'm doing. But that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, so I have my notes, so I'll stay on course here. I'm going to be talking about Gonzalo Goufray, and a lot of you knew him. He was my husband for 54 years. He died in 2018. I just want to give you some facts about him first. He was born in Bogota, Colombia in April of 27. His parents were Jorge and Josefina. His father was from a French tradition, his mother from a Spanish tradition. And that really indicated to me, when I lived there for a long time, that his father, coming from a French tradition, was a very, very polished man. Now, the wife, Josefina, was from a Spanish tradition, and that meant that she was really fiery. So I had to be careful with her most of the time. Okay, Gon had 2 siblings. Graciela, who lives in Colombia. This girl, by the way, has 8 children, all university graduates. Isn't that something? 8 children. And then he had a brother, Albert, who lived in the United States, since died, and he had a couple of kids too who live in the United States. Gon had 2 children by a former marriage, and then we had Leslie, and I was part of the second marriage. I was the best one. That's the reason we lived together for 54 years. Yeah, we learned how to do it. You know that? Okay. Gon graduated from the University of Toronto in architecture. And I want to talk a little bit about the things that he did in his professional life in Bogota. He had an important architectural design and construction practice. He did a lot of residential and industrial design. 2 things that you will recognize: he did Glaxo Pharmaceuticals of Colombia, and he also did Uniroyal of Colombia. They made tires for vehicles. And he did several apartment complexes. He was pretty busy most of the time, and that's what kept the marriage going too, you know, being busy. It's important to be busy. When we moved to Roanoke, it was really hard in the very beginning, because when you come here from another country, you don't have a license to practice anywhere in the United States, so you have to go through the boards, and it took Gon a couple of years to complete all of the boards that he had to do. And I know the second time he said, "I'm not doing this again, Lee. I'm not doing this." And you know what I did? I falsified his name and sent his paperwork in. And when he got the acceptance that the exams were on a certain day, he said, "How can this have happened?" And I said, So in any event, but the second time he passed, and he was certified to practice in Virginia. And he did in Roanoke basically a lot of church additions. He did Unity of Roanoke Valley. He did Church of the Holy Spirit. He did the Korean Baptist Church from ground up, and a lot of residential designs as well. Now, I want to say something about Gon and his journey, because I think that's where we're all going. We're here as part of a journey, aren't we? And part of that with Gon, and I think a big part with him, was church attendance. It's going to be difficult for you to understand what I'm going to say to you about the church attendance. Listen to the churches that he attended. Now, Joe, if you want me to sit down, I'll sit down up here. And you need that? And yeah. This dog is too spoiled. You know that? That dog is too spoiled. Anyway, Gon was baptized Catholic. I don't know whether Gon practiced, but he was baptized as a Catholic. And I know a lot of people who were baptized as Catholic. I know a lot of people who are baptized in a Christian church. Whether or not you practice, I think, is a different thing. But he all the time, I think, was in a search. He attended the Unity Church of Bogota. He attended Colonial Baptist Church, the Unity Church of Roanoke, Valley Community Church, the Unitarian Church of Roanoke, and Church of the Holy Spirit. Now, you got to be searching if you're going to all those churches. And he was searching the entire time. Not only that, but of course, Don was an avid reader. And you folks know, because I brought some books here, I brought several dozen books as a contribution some time ago. And I wanted to add a couple of books to that I thought were really important. Don read the Bible, and he knew a lot about the Bible, and he could quote a lot about the Bible. I think that's important. And he made comparisons of the Bible with other things that he read. We did the Course in Miracles. A lot of you know the Course in Miracles. There are churches here where they have groups who study the Course in Miracles. We did that for a number of years. He loved, I think above all, the book The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And when something would come up, he would go through the prophet and see what the prophet said about pain. You know, those kinds of things which were really important to him. And I think to me as well, there are a series of books that are called Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. I really do recommend, if you want to buy something, to order something, there are 5 books in that set. They were written by a guy named Baird, who traveled around the Far East, interesting himself. And the books are about people that he met and the things that he was told. And I think this is the thing that really grabs your imagination, because he wrote 5 books about his travels. They are absolutely extraordinary. I read some of this morning when I woke up. And then we have a wonderful collection of books on Zen Buddhism. Those are the things that I read a lot. I have an enormous collection. If somebody's interested, I'll loan them to you if you want. Zen Buddhism is very interesting. Of course, there are millions of Buddhists around the world, and it's just challenging. It is really challenging. Now, the thing I think that was most interesting in this search was that Gon got interested in astrology. And he did actually astrological charts for several people in this congregation and throughout. In fact, I looked the other day, and I think that Gon did 160 some astrological charts. Now, I'm going to explain what an astrological chart is. I wish Gon were here, because, I wish you were here really, because there are questions that you will ask that I cannot answer, but I will explain as best I can. In the first place, astrological charts have been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. You find indications of astrological charts in pyramids. You find it all over the place. People had been interested in the heavens. They looked up and trying to figure out, what is happening. One of the most interesting stories, of course, is that of the birth of Christ. Now, if you think about the Magi, those 3 guys, without having, telephone or telegraph or anything else, came together in their travels from the Far East. They met each other somewhere and said, you know where we're going? We're going to follow that star. And the reason we're going to do this is because that story had come down year after year after year, that they would find the star, and they had to follow that star wherever it led. And of course, as we know, it led to Bethlehem. And so that is one of the stories of astrology, which is wonderful. I mean, that is just a wonderful story. And the other thing, of course, is that it's true. Gone, when he did an astrological chart, had to have bits of information about the person. You had to know exactly where the person was born, the time that they were born, right? Then he would figure out what happened with the planets at that particular moment. And he knew that because there are many, many, many books that are published about the heavens and all of these things, some of them more scientific than others. But Gone would take the date of the birth and the time of the birth, and he would put this on a chart, and he would look to see at that particular moment, in that particular moment at that particular time, what was going on, what was happening in the stars. Where was the moon? Where was Jupiter? Where were all of these things? Plus the fact that today, there's a lot of information about astrology today. And I have a friend who said to me the other day, it's really, really funny because now we give more credence to astrology than we did in the past, because a lot of people say, well, astrology is not the thing that you look in the newspaper every day to find your horoscope. Although I will say this, I think that if you look at the horoscope every day, every one of those things gives good advice. That's the thing you'll find. It doesn't make any difference if you're Scorpion or if you're Aries. Go through and read them, because they give very, very good advice, right? I think they do. I think they do. Okay. Well, he calculated the charts, as I said, for about 160 some people. It was really a saga when he sat down with the person, because this was about 100 pages of typed material. He would work on these things for weeks to have a person's chart. I had somebody from this church come to me last week when they found out that I was going to talk about Gone, to say that he had done her chart and it had changed her life. And I find people telling me stories like that. I know a woman downtown who started a shop and is now a very, very important entrepreneur. She has a couple of shops down there. And Gone, at that time, said to her, I think you have to go out on your own. I think you have to, and he gave her advice. But this was all based on the indications that he found in those charts. So, what else can I say about him? He was a complicated man because he was so brilliant, and his mind would race, and it was hard for me to keep up with that kind of mind. But I did, and I tried to temper this over the years, and I think in 54 years we had what was considered and is still considered a very successful marriage. So, what else can I tell you about Gone? He died in 2018 of cancer. An interesting thing, this goes to how he was as a person. He did not permit us in the house to say the word cancer. We talked about how talking about something adds to it. So, you could not say in the house that Gone had cancer, and the people who came there were told, the nurses, the people who came, said you cannot say to him anything, you cannot use the word cancer. You can talk about how uncomfortable he is and this and that and the other, but you cannot ask him anything that has to do with the word cancer. Because in saying it, you add to it. What you say grows. You know that? What we say grows. And this is the reason why I think in a church like Valley Community Church, it's really important for us to stay on track and know that the things that we are saying are the things that we want to grow. And we not saying the bad stuff. I know it's hard to avoid saying the bad stuff, huh? I have a friend who enjoys ill health. Peter and I were talking about this yesterday. She enjoys ill health, and the reason I think this is true is because it satisfies a certain need that she has. Now, Peter says to me, why don't you talk to her about this? Can you imagine that? I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that. But in any event, I do try to talk to her about getting better. And that I think is important. I think it is really important. And I have tried to take a lot of condemnation out of my speech. It's a thing that you can do. If you decide for yourself that you're not going to do a certain thing, particularly in your speech, sometimes you can't get it out of your thoughts so much, but you certainly can get it out of your speech. And I think that this is important to do so. Now, I had a little thing here that I wanted to share with you that comes from the Course in Miracles. 3 little rules from the Course in Miracles. And these are things that we should say to ourselves. I try to do this, and sometimes I can't get past the first one. But I'm going to give you the 3 rules of the Course in Miracles. The first, I love myself. And in loving myself, I understand how to love others. I attract others to my life who know how to love themselves. Second, I respect myself. And in respecting myself, I learn to respect others. I gain the respect of others because they recognize this in me. And third, I forgive myself. I accept myself as a human being. I release all thoughts of guilt about any and all mistakes I have made in the past. By forgiving myself, I learn the importance of forgiving others. I walk on and I let them do the same. And that is all that I have to share today. I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, she's going to play. You're going to play, aren't you?
Thank you, Liddy.
Was that okay?
That was perfect.
Okay.
We back up?
And Jan, I need to be a little,
Higher?
a little bit higher.
You ready?
Wonderful.
Hold on.
Lee, thank you. Thank you for telling us we love ourselves, we respect ourselves, we forgive ourselves. Those are good tenets for divine science. Thank you for sharing. Now is the time for the blessings of the gifts. This is where we get to give back, not only our monies, but some of our time and our thoughts and our goodwill to other people. Please recite with me as it's on the board here on the TV. Today, I acknowledge God, omnipresent, as the source of all good, as the source of my good. With this acknowledgement, I accept His will, which is abundance in every aspect of my life. I release all thoughts of lack and limitation, and I am open and receptive to the increased flow of abundance to me right now. I joyfully accept the gifts of life and give freely of the special gift that I am. Through me, God omnipresent blesses and multiplies this gift for me. Thank you, dear God. Now Jan's going to join us.
It's funny that he started when he was upset.
You're going to need it.
Now I'm just gonna hold this thing here somehow. Okay, thank you, Lee. Very interesting speech. Thank you so much for sharing that. JoJo was in good hands. Okay, let's see. Just a few announcements here. As you know, we had short notice to collect soup and so forth for the LOA. I have to take it next Saturday, so if you have some food you want to donate, try to get it to me by Wednesday or Thursday of this week. We're here Wednesday night for coffee, and I can meet you if somebody wants to donate some stuff. But anyhow, I didn't get the notice until like last week, so it was short notice to get this together. But they'll take whatever we can get for them. Let's see, there's no journaling. We postponed journaling for a few weeks, but until the weather gets better. Next Sunday before church will be a board meeting at 9 o'clock, 9 to 10 before the board, before church next week. Other than that, I want to make another announcement. As some of you have probably noticed, there's a white van sitting in our parking lot, and we want to thank Mark Jones. He is letting us use this van for whatever we may need it for, moving or renting it out or just whatever. But there's been many, many times when we've needed a vehicle to transport stuff, and so we thank you, Mark, so very much. Road trip, there we go, it's a road trip. So anyhow, we thank you so much, Mark, for that, and we thank everybody for everything that they always do around here. I don't always tell everybody every day, but everything gets done around here, and it doesn't get done by itself, so we appreciate everybody that does everything. Also, don't forget the prayer basket over here. There's lots and lots and lots of prayer names in that basket, and even ones that aren't in the basket that we know of that need prayer. So, and also, Rebecca, thank you for stepping in at the last minute to do music. It's like, she's just awesome. So, what can we say? Just great. Thank you. Back to you. And thank you, Doug, for stepping up today.
It's Cowboy Sunday. Now's the time in our service where we've become accustomed to, we call it praying for our country. We spend just a scant 90 seconds, but oh, how powerful it is. Please, I invite you to go within with me right now. from Ukraine to Supreme Court picks, to voting rights. My friends, it's all in divine order. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your presence. God bless America.